Oh, yeah. That's right.
This is the worst.
Feel it.
Never coming on this show again if this is the kind of intro music you guys are using.
Feel it right inside of you. Do you feel it inside of you?
I thought you guys were thugs.
We're nerd thugs.
Yeah.
But we're in Conroe, Texas. We're on 104.5, 106.1, the sister stations.
Draw the line.
We're worldwide at irlonestar.com. And what we're doing...
YouTube.com/NerdThugRadio.
And what we're doing is we're bringing a little country music to you.
I guess.
Just snippets of it. Just a little taste of Texas right there on the tip of your tongue.
Wow.
I haven't been to Taste in Texas in like 6 years.
Yeah, we'll put the taste of Texas on your tongue.
Okay.
On your tongue.
Okay,
anyway,
moving on.
Corey DLG here with my cohorts.
Nico DLG.
Oh, man, you waved at the camera. For a second, I was like, why are you waving? We're on the radio. But we're also streaming to YouTube, so I guess I'll allow it. And then with us, as always, the calm, diminutive, tiny Zach Attack.
Yes. Zach Attack.
Yes. Those were all opposites.
Yes. Accurate.
Big, giant, crazy man.
Not really. Not diminutive.
Never mind.
So.
Yeah. Well, so we're all over the place. We're on Facebook. Facebook.com/NerdThugRadio. Instagram. Tweets. Apps. Things. Worldwide. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. We're everywhere. If you Google Nerd Thug Radio, you can go to nerdthugradio.com. We haven't even said that yet today.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google Nerd Thug Radio, a picture of me will come up, and you'll thank me later.
Yep.
So anyway, we're about halfway into the show, and you and I, we've started a new hobby.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about this because I'm having a blast doing it.
I am too, and I'm really surprised that I am. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, this isn't something even 5-6 years ago. Like if you'd been like, "Hey, do you guys want to do this?" We all would have been like, "No."
Right.
But now we all just sit in a circle and we all look each other in the eyes and we do this thing together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not weird. It's not weird at all. Matter of fact, Joey's wife joins in, which makes it less weird.
Yep.
And of course, I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Where were you guys at? Were you somewhere else with that? Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Anyway, you've been the Dungeon Master so far. I'm taking over this weekend.
Yep.
I will be Dungeon Mastering.
Yeah, this will be the first time that you're doing it.
And you get to play.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am. It's such. You guys talked a few weeks ago on one of the few Nico segments that was worth listening to about world building.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I can't disagree.
We give you 12 minutes because we yell at you all
But
day.
the world building in Dungeons and Dragons is just insane. If you've not played, it's a hard thing to describe because role playing game doesn't really cover it. It is that like you do build a character and you do put them into these situations, but it's different in that unlike like a role playing video game, you not only are an active participant in the character creation, but you also, if you do like we're doing, you rotate in creating the adventure itself. And it's just an insane level of detail and depth. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. It's intense and it's hard. You can't really limp into it.
No, you got to.
There's a lot of background work that you need to do.
Yeah.
But it's interesting and it's been a really neat thing. And I'm looking forward, like you said, because when you're the dungeon master, you're the one who builds the world and determines the adventure. And even if you have a character, you don't play that character as part of the game. You're kind of this sounds weird, but like you're like a godlike entity in that
ego.
Because you are, right?
Ego.
Like you're not for or against the people who are playing the game. You're the this is what happens next.
Oh, see, I'm totally against you guys. I'm all excited. Like,
That's fair.
My goal is to kill 2 of you.
Sure, that's fair. So yeah, I'm excited. You know, we spent the first time we played, we were at my house from about noon until about 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
And the first like 5 to 6 hours was just character building.
Right.
So I'm excited to finally play this character I've built.
That's true. Which one are you going to play? You made 2. We've been carrying 2 guys for you this whole time.
Yeah, I did there's a lot of stuff online where you can kind of shortcut your character creation.
Right.
Where you can randomly roll dice to get things, or you can just keep hitting roll till you get the higher numbers you want. So I did a lot of that for practice because I was like trying to understand how the things connected.
Right.
But I'll be playing the character that I built myself on that first day when we went, not the just character generated thing I did online.
Oh, what did you make? I forgot.
Sorcerer.
Yeah, a half elf sorcerer.
Oh, okay. Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
So it combines like a bunch of different types of game playing, right? Like it's definitely like long-term adventure planning.
Right.
And then it also combines like there's a map, and so there's a physical aspect of it where you have to calculate, what's the best position. It's
Yeah, because you can get disadvantaged in the combat section of it.
right.
You can suddenly be, oh man, we're outnumbered and outpositioned here, and they have the stronghold. But yeah, so I'm excited because you guys all hated my character.
I didn't.
So I get to now have fun with this.
Right.
So my character's name is Elodrin Pendergrast.
Right.
He's a half-elf bard.
Yep.
What no one knows is he's secretly a spy.
Oh.
So that's why everyone keeps asking me to play an instrument, and I don't have one.
Right.
I'm a bad bard.
And here's what happens when you're the dungeon master, right? Like, so last week when we played, Corey's making these decisions as he plays that like physically separate him from the rest of the group. So like when you're doing this, because of the nature of the game, if someone is separated in the adventure, like in your head, you also have to physically separate them. So like I would have to take Corey outside to where he could explain what it was he was doing, and I could tell him stuff only he could hear. And like I'm listening to his team talking about how if he doesn't come back, they're going to kill him. And like I'm talking to him as though everything's fine. So like it's a strange kind of mix and stuff.
Yeah, because you definitely know things that they don't know, and so then you get to as the dungeon master, you get to kind of parcel out the information. You're in charge of the information,
right?
So really, you're right. You're kind of in charge of the whole world,
right?
And so with that in mind, I got really excited because you know what, these guys are gonna have to embrace my character.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. Like one of the best parts of the game is like the first time we played the adventure that I set up as dungeon master was just a straight let's kill some bad guys and follow and do this thing. And then you can also build like these thought challenges, right? Where like they have to use their intelligence of their characters and like, figure things out. And is it likely that they would understand what's going on? And it's just a very interesting thing. If you don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, there's a show called Community, and I think you guys are corollarily familiar with it. Dan Harmon, who did Rick and Morty, also did the show Community. Donald Glover's in it, who Childish Gambino is Nico's favorite rapper. But if you want to learn about Dungeons and Dragons without getting too emotionally invested in it, they've done 2 episodes of Community where they play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I need to look at this.
And it's making fun of some of the aspects of the game, but it's wildly accurate that that's how the game goes.
Well, actually, Dan Harmon has I've been seeing the ads on Facebook. There's one of the internet TV startup things, Zulu, Slew, whatever. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, he's actually got basically celebrities role playing with him. Yeah. And they're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Well,
so it's him and Aubrey Plaza.
Well, his movie Harmontown, which is on Netflix. I don't know if it's a Netflix original, but it's on Netflix. It's him doing like these, and it's hard to describe the kind of show it is. It's not a stand-up comedy show because he's not a comedian, but like he gets up there and he like talks to the audience and he talks about community, he talks about all these different things and stuff, and he has a dungeon master there with him to like field questions and stuff, and it's somebody he met at one of his shows, so then he made his dungeon master of his shows, and then that guy did several guest spots on Community.
That's awesome.
So like it's really interesting, like how all these things, all these nerdy things that we all happen to be into, are getting more and more connected, and it's
that's true.
It's a little frightening.
Soon it will just be one big nerd web.
Right. Soon it'll just be we're playing Dungeons and Dragons with our X-Men characters using hero clicks to divide them, and then beaming it to our Nintendo Switch while we watch the new Logan trailer on repeat.
I'm so excited about that world.
Right, all of those things. So what else do you have planned then? What about the game are you looking most forward to?
So what I like, you started to get into this here in your second adventure that you did, because you hosted 2 weeks in a row. And so in your second the first one was very straightforward, kill some things, kind of get used to playing, learn the mechanics is basically what we were doing there. And the second one, you laid out a story. Yeah. And we interacted with the story. And so I like that. So I've kind of built this story in my head where you guys are, and I've already teased you guys endlessly that the title is The Origins of Elodrin Pendergrast.
Right. And he says it like that, right? Yeah. Like I think it's very important to know that he's not doing his radio voice when he says The Origins of Elodrin Pendergrast. Like that's how he says it every time.
Yeah, you got to be
100%.
I get it. We're being transported into a magical world.
Yes,
a magical world
where hopefully 2 of you die.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rooting for murder.
All right.
Because that's the case that they gave me.
Okay. Nice.
I believe it.
Nice.
So
little Snoop Dogg.
So it's a we're getting embedded in a story kind of thing. Is you've spent, and for good or for bad, you've had
2 weeks.
Right, 2 weeks to kind of prepare. Whereas the last 2 times I've done it, I've spent like the Friday before and the Saturday before kind of building my map and figuring out the ins and outs of the stories. But
now I just need to lay out, like I've got everything set up. Now I just need to lay out the chance encounters and then also the storied encounters. And so that way I just need to figure out like
one of the
fight.
One of the things I think is great about Dungeons and Dragons is you can buy or download these like pre-done stories, and
Right.
people put their stuff online for free because people who play Dungeons and Dragons as a community or whatever. But it's because there are so many different decisions. That's one of the reasons you have to have a dungeon master, right? You can't just follow a book that says then you do this, because well, what if I want to do this instead?
Right. So they need to have
They
a
need
whole
somebody
story.
who can like
Right.
adapt to this is happening now. So we need somebody who can say yes, this happens this way, or no, this can't happen this way, or whatever.
Also, I'm going to do something a little bit different. You guys aren't going to know the hit points of any of your enemies.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea actually.
We did talk about this.
Because
Yeah.
what I did was I picked interesting characters.
You did.
And so you guys would get overwhelmed and think way before any kind of battle started that you were screwed.
Right.
And so it gets kind of defeating, and so then I start to feel bad. I'm like, well, maybe it's not quite that many hit points or whatever.
Yeah.
Moving forward, you guys won't know who you're attacking or who's being attacked or
Yeah,
what
but
the
you
hit
also
point
can't make it impossible that we literally can't hit.
Yeah, you did. You definitely on that golem. So all of our characters are beginners, and we're going to get out here on this. All of our characters are beginners, so we're level 2 at this point. And he brings out this stone golem who had an armor class of 26, which means you have to roll. You have a 20-sided die you can roll.
It's a
then
hard thing to kill.
And then you add your modifier to it.
Right.
But being level 2, none of us had a modifier bigger than like a 2.
I could get it if I had a full rain charge. I could get if I hit a 20, I would actually have to hit
So
it.
basically, they would have to roll a 20 on a 20-sided die to even if they were shooting an arrow at my bad guy to even hit him.
Right.
So they whined about that extensively.
Right. A 5% chance to hit it every time we roll.
And it had 1,000,000 health.
This is where you say dungeon masters can be the bad guys.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, I'm looking forward to it too. Like you said, it's interesting
And
that
now you're gonna
we're
get to
now in
play
a
it.
place. Right. It's interesting that we're now in a place where we're doing this. When you're right, a few years ago, I don't know how interested any of us would have been.
So that was probably the most boring segment in the history of Nerd Thug Radio, but I don't really care.
Yeah, we're okay with it.
Yeah, you listened to it,
Uh-huh.
and you went boot scoot boogieing with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Hashtag talking nerdy to you.
Jumping every night when the sun goes